Hello and welcome back. Today in Algebra 1, we will be talking about simplifying each polynomial expression. So I'm basically going to give you an expression which is considered as a polynomial according to the last section. And I want you to simplify it as much as possible so then maybe we can categorize what type of polynomial it is. Is it like a binomial, trinomial, and what kind of degree would we actually have? So let's see. Let's go ahead and dive straight into our first problem over here where we have in parentheses 2c cubed plus 9 and then minus in parentheses 3c cubed and then minus 7. So if you're thinking about order of operation, the first thing we want to do is we want to get rid of the parentheses. So let's go ahead and clean that part up. The first part, I don't think there's much to clean, so that's still going to be 2c cubed plus 9, and then minus, well, you're subtracting everything in that parentheses. So what that means is you're going to have to subtract the whole thing. So in essence, what I'm saying is you have to use kind of like a distributive property over here. So first, it's going to be minus 3c cubed, and this is the part you have to be very careful because you're also you're distributing this negative to this negative 7 over here. And in algebra, we learned that if you have two negatives, that makes it a positive. So in essence, what you have is actually a plus 7 and not a minus 7. So now that we have the parentheses gone, we can go ahead and combine like terms just we did in the previous section. I noticed that we have 2c cubed and then we have negative 3c cubed. So we combine those two together. That is going to give us, once again, just kind of comparison. It's like saying you have 2 boys minus 3 boys. So then you have negative 1 boy. That doesn't really make sense, but we'll work with that. So this is going to give us negative c cubed then for the first part. Then we're going to take the numbers and then combine those two together. And we have 9 plus 7. So combining those together, that is going to give us 16 then. So this, if we were to categorize this polynomial, it is a binomial because we have two terms added together. And then this is going to be of third degree because your exponent is going to be cubed in this case. That's the largest one. Okay, moving on to the next one, the similar example. This time what I want to do is I want to clean up this, nastier looking expansion of a polynomial. So let's see. We have in parentheses negative 12x cubed plus 5x minus 23. And then minus, in parentheses, 4x to the fourth plus 31. And then minus 9x cubed. Okay, so let's go ahead and do exactly the same thing, which is get rid of the parentheses first. So we have negative 12x cubed, and then we have plus 5x, and then minus 23. And remember, just like last time, we're going to have to distribute that negative into each part of the second part of the parentheses. So that's going to give us minus 4x to the fourth, and then minus 31, and then finally plus 9x to the third then. Okay, so once again, just distributing, so be very careful about that part. The next part is we're going to combine your like terms, and we're going to go ahead and put it in descending order just like before. So the first part, I noticed that we have negative 4x to the fourth, so I'm going to go ahead and just write that, negative 4x to the fourth. Anything that's cubic, yes, there are. That's the first term, which is negative 12x cubed, and then we also have 9x cubed. If we add those two together, that gives us a total of negative 3x cubed. Then we look for more like terms. We have 5x, that's all by itself. So I'm just going to go ahead and put plus 5x. And then the last part, you have finally the negative 23 and the negative 31. So if we add those together, that'll give us negative, looks like it's going to be 54. So looking at the category that we have over here, this is going to be, we'll just go ahead and call it a polynomial because there are 4 terms. And as we remember from before, we said that anything that's higher than a trinomial, meaning you have more than 3 terms, we'll just call it polynomial because we don't want to memorize more different names for that one. And in terms of degree in this case, this is going to be the 4th degree because your first term over here, we have x to the 4th, and that's what's making it into the 4th degrees then. Okay. Now for this final last one, we have 3 different expressions that we're going to add and subtract. So, no problem here. It's just a matter of kind of keeping organized all your work together. Okay. All right. So the first part, let's go ahead and add them all these together. So I am looking at a squared minus 2ab and then plus b squared. Then we have minus 3a squared and then plus 2ab, because remember this negative multiplies out to be multiplies to that negative, making it positive. And then we have minus b squared because this negative multiplies into this negative positive b squared. Okay, so make sure you distribute that negative to each part. And then for the last piece, well, this is just adding what's inside, so we'll just go ahead and use it as is. So 4a squared and then plus 7b squared. Again, once we distribute the negative and then get rid of all the parentheses, we're going to go ahead and combine the like terms. So let's go ahead and pull out some of these guys. I am noticing that there is an a squared right here, and then we have negative 3a squared, and then there's also a 4a squared. So if we take all of these and combine it together, how many a squares do we actually have then? So I am seeing one single a squared from this part, and then we have negative 3a squared and then 4a squared. So if I add them all together, 1 minus 3 plus 4, that is going to give us a total of 2a squared. So if you kind of need to see it, it's kind of like 1 minus 3 and then plus 4, and they all have a squared together. So that in total is going to give us a 2a squared then. Hopefully, if that makes sense to you. Then we'll do the same thing for some of the other terms. And the terms that I'm looking at right now are the ones with AB. So that's this guy right here. And then that's this guy right here. And I think that's all of them. So if you look at the AB terms, we have minus 2AB and then plus 2AB. So they actually cancel each other out. So that's kind of nice. So that's going to give us plus 0, which, don't write if you don't want to. And finally, for the last part, we're going to look at the b squared term. So that's this one, and then that's this one, and then that's this one. So notice how I kind of color coded to just kind of keep everything organized, and maybe you should do the same thing too. So b squared and then minus b squared, so they cancel each other out, and all that's left is just the 7b squared at the very end. So my final answer, if I clean everything up and not write the 0, will be 2a squared plus 7b squared. So that is going to be a binomial, and this is going to be of second degree because we have to a squared and also to b squared, and since they're the same, so that's why we just go ahead and say second degree then. All right, thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys next time. Bye.